Hey guys, and welcome to this video on the North Node in Aquarius and astrology. If your North Node is in Aquarius, that means your South Node is in the sign of Leo, and this video is for you. I'm Cassandra, the Saffron Sage, helping you use astrology to evolve. So let's talk about the North Node in Aquarius and astrology. This means the point representing your purpose is in the sign of Aquarius, which is the sign of humanitarian causes. So the overview of the North Node is to move toward humanitarian causes, to move toward technological advancement or innovation. So let's start by talking about the past lives you had as a South Node Leo person. Leo is the sign of the entertainer. So if you have your South Node here, that means you had past lives where you were a king or a queen or an entertainer, even things like actors, anyone who had a large audience that they had to please. Okay, so that's the real frequency that you can end up bringing into this life, is that memory, that soul memory of having to give the people what they want. Because when you're a king or a queen or an actor or some other similar kind of job, your work and your livelihood depends upon people being happy with you. And if they're not happy with you, then you are no longer going to be the king or the queen or the actor that is super, super famous. So there's also an element here of being a performer, having everyone pay attention to you, having everyone notice you. And what can happen is we'll talk about the past life patterns to release. In this life, you can bring in the need for approval because it was so familiar in all of these past lives where, you really did need that approval. And so now your soul remembers that, and that frequency is a memory. So you could go toward that in this life, even in really small ways where you can put other people's opinion just a little bit too far up, like on your priority list. There can sometimes be this sense of, I want to say, specialness, where your soul remembers how, worshipped you were in the past lives. And what happens in this life is this sort of feeling like bad things aren't supposed to happen to you. And so this can show up in many different ways for the Aquarius North Node person. But some ways this can show up is feeling like, man, bad things aren't supposed to happen to me, or my life is supposed to be better than this, or, just this feeling like, things are supposed to go really well. So this is a memory from past lives, and it doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong when you feel this way, but just that feeling like you need special treatment, or trying to get special treatment, trying to get people to give you a promotion you don't deserve, or, just somehow be treated special can be a pattern for you guys. That doesn't mean everyone watching this is going to have that problem. So another kind of obvious thing that can happen with the South Node is wanting to be the center of attention. There can also be sort of a weird relationship with attention, right? So depending upon other placements, some North Node in Aquarius will want to be the center of attention. Others will resist attention. And so there might be a strange relationship with attention, feeling like you deserve it, feeling like you don't deserve it. Another challenge for this placement is really putting their own desires as a little too important. Now, we all have desires, and that matters, but for this placement, because you had so many past lives where you got to rule, you got to be the star of the show, you might just feel like something's not right if you're not the star of the show. But with the North Node in Aquarius, the more you focus your life on meeting the needs of others, the more you are feeding your North Node patterns, which means you have to watch out with this placement for being a little bit too self-oriented. And I say this gently because I know that Again, not everyone with this placement, like you're not all narcissists. One of the gifts of this South Node is the ability to entertain, the ability to, again, be the center of attention when you need to host a good party, to, allow yourself to kind of shine, because Leo energy shines and is noticed. And so again, there can be challenges with, if you've ever felt like, wow, nobody notices me, or I wish I was more noticed, or if you've ever found that being noticed was a theme throughout your life, this is your South Node showing up. This does not mean to honor your North Node, you can't be in the limelight, or that you can't get attention, or that you can't go after your own goals, which are all things we would see with Leo energy. But it does mean that the more that you layer in qualities of the North Node, the more, I believe, the universe rewards you. And it may not reward you with like millions of dollars right away, but in my experience, the more we feed our North Node, our life just tends to flow a little bit better. So let's talk now about the patterns for the Aquarius North Node person to develop. One of the first things for that North Node in Aquarius is to recognize the talents, the gifts, and how special other people are, to let them take center stage, to feed and nurture their dreams. And another way that the Aquarius energy can work is by creating or building like innovative systems to further humanity. So if you've always wanted to do off-grid permaculture, then this would be a very Aquarius North Node thing, not because it's working with the earth as much as Aquarius is the rebel. It's doing things that are different. It's going outside of the status quo and being on the leading edge. So for the Aquarius North Node to be following their North Node, it's doing those leading edge, quirky, unique things that not everyone's doing. It could be talking about spirituality. It can be bringing in some kind of new methodology to your practice, whatever practice you have. Even if you were like a therapist with an Aquarius North Node, you might do some somatic releasing or something else that's just a little bit out there to some people. That's not out there to me, but to the masses. Another pattern to develop, something to infuse into your life for the Aquarius North Node, is to recognize people beyond their role. So again, in past lives, you were the king, you were the queen, you were an actor who had people, right? You had people for that. And in this life, it's good when you can see a person as who they are instead of just the janitor, or who they are instead of just a secretary, or whatever their role is, to see who the human being is beyond that. So the Aquarius North Node is all about furthering humanity. It can be about social justice. It can be building structures that are new and unique and different. It can be sharing your ideas about what the world needs, and maybe some other people get involved and you're able to all chip in together and create a commune or a network of spiritual readers or some other thing that didn't exist before, because you saw the need that humanity had and you found a way to fill the need. You are not here to be everything. You are not here to do all of the work for whatever it is you want to do. You are here to honor and respect the beautiful gifts of other people and find a way to help them come together to create something that's never been done before. The gifts of this North Node come from those lifetimes where you are entertaining. You can energize a crowd. You can bring revolutionary ideas to the public. So the Aquarius side is the revolutionary, the ideas, and the Leo side is the public. So this is exactly how we use our North Node, is we find the gift in the South Node, but we use it in a North Node way. So an example of a North Node way for you would be, again, working on a project that benefits many people. An example of a South Node way to do something would be to try to become an actor and not do anything else, But even if you have a North Node in Aquarius, it doesn't mean you can't be an actor. But if you did and you wanted to honor your North Node, you would also be, maybe, I think of like Angelina Jolie, how she, talks with the UN and works to end world hunger and just doesn't just act. You would be working with your North Node more if you found causes that you could bring to the public, if you did have a job in the public eye with this placement. So just to recap, you guys, the Aquarius North Node is all about technology, innovation, the collective good, humanitarian causes, making the world a better place for everyone. And this often means fighting for the underdog, because the underdogs are the ones that tend to need a little bit more support. However, it is different than the Libra North Node, and I want to distinguish the difference because they sound very similar. The Libra energy is about bringing balancing the scales. So Libra would be like taking someone who's in a bad situation and lifting them out of that situation. Whereas with Aquarius, your thoughts are more on everyone, like what is for the good of all. Now, yes, everyone should be thinking that way, but if your North Node is in Aquarius, this is like what your soul wants to learn, the frequency, the energy, and the feeling and the experience of helping make the world a better place through building something new, through something on the leading edge. If you're an Aquarius North Node and you're thinking about doing something totally out there, I can't guarantee it will succeed, but I will say that if you're thinking about out there things, you're on the right track. If you like to do stuff that's totally different and weird and strange and abnormal, then you're totally on track. If you're trying to do something that will even shock people, okay? Because Aquarius, there is a shock factor here. So you can do things to shock people. You can do things to, I think of Lady Gaga's meat dress. Okay, you can do things to shock people to get attention on a cause. But the point here is it's all about evolution. It is all about making the world a better place. It is all about considering the good of all people in the process of whatever you do. So I hope this video made sense, you guys. Leave me a comment below if it did. I love hearing from you guys. You can book a reading using the link below. You can also join my Facebook group, Astrology and Alchemy, where I go live once a week on the energy. And I will see you all in the next video.